I'm a bit early. Just wonder if anyone ever watched Marion and Geoff. Remember Marion and Geoff? Brilliant. I'm a bit early when Bryn, who's not Bryn, from Gavin and Stacey, arrives so early to see his children that he falls asleep in the car and then misses the allocated time where he was supposed to see his children. Genius comedy. Marion and Geoff, Rob Brydon, that's it. Nobody watching yet, but this is the Thursday evening auction countdown. I have 3 cars on eBay right now. They are all ending in half an hour. So I'm a bit early, and it's been a busy old day over on YouTube, hasn't it really? 29 minutes left on the listings. A couple of people coming in now. Simo Cars, Obi, Kevin, Paul. How you doing, Paul? Oh, Paul, I saw something really funny the other day. I saw a Range Rover. It wasn't on fire or in a multi-story car park, but the number plate was H8 Ian. And I was like, why does he hate Ian? What's Ian done to him? And then I figured it must be a Geoff follower who was annoyed that the person who won the last Jeffel was called Ian. It had to be. I mean, it was like a 90 grand Range Rover, so that's obviously what it was. How are we, everyone? I see the CCTV came out, looked like it was a Range Rover Evoque diesel. I'm still unsure on this one, and I've been on this since, well, almost this time yesterday. I had a look last night. I actually had an Instagram message from someone who works at the airport at 39 minutes past 8 last night, and then Lee Macmaster sent it to me 10 minutes later. So I was pretty early on this one, which is why my video was one of the first ones to go up, and I didn't break the news, but I was one of the first people to put it out there. It's odd. It still doesn't make sense to me. But the video of what looks like an explosion is one of the floors collapsing. If you watch it in slow-mo, you can see the roof comes down and then everything explodes. Whereas it's quite easy to watch that and say that was an explosion, but it's actually the roof collapsing. So the explosion is effectively a burning car landing from the floor above and then everything going all hell to leather. So what car was it? That is the big question. The big question is, what car was it? We know it's a Range Rover. I went to Jaguar Land Rover today to see if I could work it out. So Arthur there says diesel Range Rover equals hybrid Range Rover with a 35 kilowatt battery. It depends how new it is. Now everybody's saying Evoque, but the stance of the car, the BBC said it was a push bike. Actually, the BBC said it was climate change. The stance of the car just didn't look right to me. It looked to me like a second or third gen, I don't know my Range Rovers very well, looked to me like a Range Rover Sport. I couldn't see Evoque in the pictures. It didn't even occur to me when I saw that first picture this morning that it was an Evoque. It didn't even cross my mind. So, but that's what they're saying. They're saying an Evoque diesel. Now, I took a look at the news for burning Evoques, and basically it's kind of a big deal. There are far too many cases of Range Rovers catching fire. It's wild. There's so many of them. Like a lot of Range Rovers, these Evoques. And it's to do with, I think it's to do with the diesel, something diesely in the bonnet. Now, if you look at the history of these Range Rover fires, the fires are always on the front left side of the car. Let's go, Brandon. The fires are always on, definitely not a Sport too small, says David Good. The fires are always at the front, by the front left wheel, basically. But that just confounds things because, yeah, DPF family says, Paul, that confounds things because that could either be the location of the hybrid battery, which we know because Tony EV Man told me it's behind the front wheel, or it could be, as everybody's saying, something to do with the diesel system. So for me, I still haven't made a decision. And if anyone should have made a decision by now, it should be me. Injectors fall out of Defenders. They do it as well. It happened at work. Something diesely in the bonnet. Is that a technical term? Yeah, that's like me when I go to the garage. What seems to be the problem, Geoff? Something diesely. Where's the issue with your car, Geoff? Right, I've had a look and I've worked out it's between the back number plate and the front one. Yeah, so that's it basically. Something diesely in the bonnet. Hot DPF after a long drive to the airport. That would make sense, wouldn't it? If that DPF was clogged And I haven't really done any videos on this. So the DPF gets up to 600 degrees. So if the DPF got to 600 degrees, I'm going to pretend that my wife hasn't just walked past and flashed her boobs at me. But fair play, she's got a sense of humour. Babe, did you know there's 2 cameras on this one? I got one facing the other way as well. I'm joking. Anyway, so DPFs get to 600 degrees. Of course, the DPF is a ridiculous thing anyway, because the idea is that it saves the carbon by waiting until you're going fast to then dump the carbon. So you end up at the same amount of carbon anyway. According to the BBC, it was a diesel car, but they didn't feel inclined to say why it was important to state that. It's funny, isn't it, that everybody's jumped. Saw that in the... Oh, babe, someone's just said they saw it in the reflection of the window. That's so funny. I don't think that's possible, but you may have just flashed all of YouTube. She don't care. She don't care. That's so funny. Yeah, now lots of people are saying there's a reflection in the window. I'm going to have to watch the live feedback, babe. So that's hilarious. Could it have been a laser from a satellite through those dodgy clouds? I don't know. And everybody's saying, could you please do it again? Apparently they're joking. They're joking. I think I'd get kicked off YouTube for that, which would be funny, wouldn't it? Because it'd be the wife's fault. Yeah, but that's hilarious. That only happens when you're live, doesn't it? Burning question, can resist. Do I bring the P85D or the RS1600 to the dyno day? Totally up to you, David. I don't want to influence you. Paul, that was a good one. I enjoyed that. And so the dyno day, it's technically sold out, which is amazing. But to be fair, I mean, there's only like 10 or 12 entries. And if I sell too many, it just means the day will get really, really long. So if you missed out, if you feel like you missed out on the dyno day, your face was priceless, had to do it. That was excellent. I'm going to enjoy watching this back on the live feed. Stephen Young says she should do it again so we can check the reflection in the window. Stephen Young's got a crush on my wife because he's been following for quite some time. And if you go back through my videos, there's an amazing shot of my wife drunk with her legs out on the bonnet of a Jaguar XK8 as I drive past the camera. And I think, really, that was the moment when everyone was like, Geoff's punching above his weight. So, Luton Airport have said all cars that were destroyed still have to pay for... Oh, man, don't. Come on. Come on. That's not real. Tell me that's not real. Nothing would surprise me. So, I've been speaking to... You know the girl who filmed the footage of the Range Rover, right? By the way, 22 minutes left to go on these 3 cars. You can follow along on eBay. The user is TS Classics, £3,200 on the Volvo, £791 on the Fiesta, and £2,450 on the Mercedes. We got, 21 minutes on the Volvo, 36 minutes on the Fiesta, and 26 minutes on the Mercedes. So that's how long we're going to be on for tonight to talk about that. Nottingham bin men say the brakes on their £500,000 bin lorries get hot. I've got another video to come on the Nottingham bin man thing, because I had some hilarious emails from people that aren't totally biased council people that paid for them, like the actual people. Loads to talk about car fires, but not much about substations that are starting to go up in smoke very often. I did not know that. No, I couldn't get the number plate either. But let me just talk about this for a second then. So as soon as this footage emerged this morning of the Range Rover actually burning, I'd spent all night looking for that. Genuinely, Lee told me about this at 10 to 9, and I couldn't leave it alone. I was like, I have got to know what caused this fire. And I spent ages looking for it. And then in the morning, this footage turns up from this girl. So I messaged her and I said, I actually gave her some pretty sound advice. I said, delete the video. And when all these scumbags from the mainstream media are begging you for the video, make some money out of it. It was as simple as that. I thought she could have made a ton of money. But to be fair to her, she had just lost her car in a giant fire as well. So I later found out this evening. Let me see if she's messaged me again, actually. Let me have a look. Where is it? No, she's not messaged me back again. But basically, she said she decided not to reply to any of the media people that were contacting her, even though 5 minutes after I told her to delete it and start asking for money, someone offered her 1,200 quid for the video. And I knew that would happen. To be fair, she probably just didn't really understand how to do it and wasn't thinking about it. But based on my experience with having a clip go viral, when I had that Tesla video that went viral at Christmas with all of the, do you remember all the Teslas at the charging station up near the Lake District? Well, a friend of mine had filmed that. I put it on the internet, and stupidly, when people asked if they could use it, I said, yeah, just give me a credit. And then I was like, well, what do I get out of that? Should have charged them. They're all these crappy media companies that, you know, you click on their website and it's like 60,000 adverts for toenail removal and all that sort of stuff. What's this we're saying? His keys and wallet all went up and had to get a mate to book him a hotel, and getting a locksmith out to the car on Sunday. It was hard and no doubt expensive. I missed that, CR. I missed your first comment there. But just while I've been scanning. Lady I work with, her son plays football for Barnsley, and over the weekend on the way back to the game, the bus caught fire on the way back. Yes, I saw that because I'd started doing some research to get another video together. That bus went up quickly, and it was in Gloucester. It was only down the road from me. Anyway, carrying on with that one, yeah, so this girl that filmed the footage, basically they're on level 4. They see the car catching fire, and she films it, and then they run for it. So they leave, I think they left her car there, although if you look at the video, it looks like initially it's filmed from a car. Excuse me, I've got climate change. And then they ran for it, basically. And she, didn't want to do anything with getting any money today because she's lost her car in that fire. I've also had someone email me anonymously saying they know the person who is handling the insurance claim. Let me see if there's another video from them. The latest on that, they can't see it, darling, you're right. The latest on that was that they think it's going to be £100 million. And at the time that he emailed me, there were a number of diesel cars already effectively on her desk to deal with. So this could be, I mean, I don't know what's the biggest insurance case in history. I mean, can you just imagine how that would go as a phone call? I'd like to report an accident on my insurance. Oh yeah, what's happened? Have you run into someone? No, it's caught fire. Right, okay, no problem. Is there any other damage? Yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, it sort of started catching fire to the car that was next to it. Right, okay. Have you got the number plate of the car that's next to it? And we'll look into that as well. Well, it kind of wasn't just that car. You see, after that car went up, the one next to that went as well. Ah, okay. Right, so 3 cars then. Any number plate? Not so much 3 cars. Well, after that, it was kind of like the entire row, and then the entire floor, and then after that, sort of every level of the car park collapsed in on each other. So really, not just the 3 cars. How many cars are we talking about, roughly? 1,200? About 1,200, they reckon. Plus the cost of the closed airport, plus the cost of everybody's wages because the airport was closed, plus the cost of redirecting everybody and putting everybody up in hotels, and all the compensation that's going to be claimed by all the airlines. It's going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely huge. Got another one here. It's just landed in my inbox. Bradford van fire. So now there's a fishy fire in Bradford. Screwfix got their EV price in. Someone's done that deliberately, a Screwfix, haven't they? Again, I'm forgetting that I've got cars on an auction about to end. Let me refresh the screen and see if they've gone up at all. And you can follow along as well. Just Google or type into eBay, Gavin and Stacey Volvo, and you can follow along with me. Don't be bidding though and putting in ghost bids, because I think I can't see this car selling at 3,200 quid. That's good, strong money for that car. It really is. This video should have been sponsored by a window company. This video is actually sponsored by FlexiSpot. FlexiSpot make adjustable work benches, desks, if you will, on electric rising plinths. You can put multiple settings in them. You can rise them up and down electrically. And that's what I'm standing on right now. I'm at a stand-up desk, which was provided to me by FlexiSpot, and I will put the link in the comments because this desk is fantastic. And as I've said before, I always get contacted by companies wanting me to put their products on the channel, and 99% of the time I say no. But I needed a desk, and this is really good. So if I say to you, it's a really good desk, I recommend it. In fact, it's a desk that I would stand behind. That was a good one. I should use that in my thing when I do it in April. Come on, that was great. Wrote that one myself. So, how are we doing? 3,200 quid. I'll just wait for you all to finish climbing back on your chairs after you got that joke. That wasn't a joke, though. The desk is fantastic, and I will put the link in the comments. I think you get a discount or something. So, yeah, you can have a look at my desk. Does it run on lithium batteries? No, it doesn't. It plugs into the mains. My mum just upgraded... whoa, comments coming in fast. My mum just upgraded to a ULEZ compliant car without checking with me. Thankfully, she's got herself a nice petrol Skoda Karoq. So I must have done something right. Well done. Less than 4 minutes on the Volvo. 14 minutes. 14 minutes on the Volvo. So I went to, even if it was just a diesel Vogue, non-hybrid, the fact that electrics in cars in the car park, 2 tons. Yeah, there's major questions, isn't there? Okay, let's pretend that, babe, do you think you could grab my Hot Wheels? My purple one. It's on the shelf. And the orange one. Downstairs. On the bookcase, because otherwise I'll have to run away. When you're ready, no hurry. We'll do Hot Wheels in a minute. Like literally Hot Wheels. Anyone's insurance skyrocket trying to price me out of a car? Yes, I'm going to be doing a video on that. How long on the Fiesta, says Simon? 28 minutes, and it's at 791 quid, which is a bargain. You can't find another Fiesta 3-door like that. It's only 80-odd thousand miles. Why buy more Volvos? You should invest in a fire engine, mate. I like that. Let's play a game. Every time EV catches fire, we take a shot of whiskey. That would work if we were all like outside the... That would have been a fun game to play outside the car park, wouldn't it? I quite like that nobody's been hurt. I've not yet heard that anyone's been hurt. That would be terrible, because that's just the worst, last place you want to be. We've got 8 kittens in the house, and they've all just started exploring the bedroom, which is quite funny. Anybody need I think the kittens are all allocated for. Kittens and boobies. I mean, what else do you want on a late night YouTube video? Going to try and get my dad the Fiesta if he gets back in time. Nice. It's a good little car. It really is. It was my backup car, because it's fun to have a backup car, but I just bought that manual gearbox Volvo 850 the other day. So, insurance. Everyone's getting absolutely hammered on car insurance. You probably saw the other day that Lee, the Macmaster, was quoted. He was paying £1,500. It went up to £3,000. Stephen says, let's see the kittens. They're really small. Hello, Pete. Thanks for following. Thanks for being on a live chat first time. I don't think the kittens would like it if I went and grabbed one and bought one over here. But I'll put that to a vote. You guys tell me. Evening, Geoff. What do they do with the waste from an EV fire? Contaminated waste. Just be careful, because that honestly, I think the reflection only... Yeah, all right, I think we're okay. Babies and kittens. My trade-ins aren't $3,000. Yeah, $3,000 for insurance. Like, I don't pay $3,000 for a whole car, let alone for the insurance. That's a big question, though, isn't it? You know, what's going to be left at ground zero of that car park? Not a lot. I'd love to... last night, I honestly wanted to just go drive down there and have a look. But then when I heard about all the roads being... Mosquito. All the roads being closed, and like major traffic carnage, I was just like, no, there's nothing to gain by going down there, even though I was curious. Magical Muppet says, The Rock has apologised for begging. Is that when he was begging for people to donate to Maui? Yeah, we ship contaminated waste to Asia, and then they chuck it in the sea. That's basically what's been going on for years, and part of the reason that this whole eco movement has been brought forward is because China got to a point where they said, no more taking your waste. We used to just ship all our waste to China, didn't we? And then they said, enough's enough, and suddenly it's like, oh, now we've got to start recycling. Yeah, only because the people that you were paying to take your crap no longer want it. A laptop can cause a fire. My friend's house burnt down due to a laptop. That is scary. Spider-Man's time for bed. Right, we got 10 minutes left on the Volvo. The Volvo's ending first. The Volvo with 10 minutes left is at still 3,200 quid. I don't think it's going to move from there. I'd be amazed if it did. Van set on fire overnight at Morecambe factory about 2 months ago. The whole factory was doomed. See, I didn't hear about that one either. That's interesting. Billionaire asks poor people to donate money. Yeah, the whole like Maui thing, I haven't really touched it on the channel, but I've been following everybody else's content on it, and it ain't good. Toxic City in Nairobi is a bit grim. Is that a thing? Do I need to look at that? Right, here we go. Carl, Land Rover Disco 4, 800 quid to 1950. Shopping around, Aviva wanted 6 grand. Carl, I've got some insider knowledge on that. Major problems with Land Rover insurance. Thank you very much. Got a glass of wine in a stainless steel cup. Major problems with Land Rover insurance. Today, someone anecdotally told me about the pre-2022 Range Rovers are being stolen at such a rate that insuring a Land Rover is incredibly difficult. I've heard of someone who was spending £1,500 a year on insurance for a Range Rover SVR to get a requote, and it gone up to more like £15,000. I think, Brandon from London, EV insurance should be 10 grand a year. I think London insurance, like if you live in London and you run one of these cars that everybody wants to steal, or any of the big cities where a lot of these car crime people operate, you're going to be like, 3 grand's going to be a cheap quote for you. So all these, people work their balls off to get all these big, posh, expensive cars and then have to pay through the... I don't get it. I was in the Land Rover dealership today and I don't understand them. Like the new ones as well, they're absolutely massive, and you're looking at the stats, and it's saying, "Oh yeah, this is ULEZ compliant," but it's got like a D rating for CO2. It's unbelievable. What are you doing? You're all right. Luton fire was allegedly down to a Tesla charging point, but how can it be when the charger on the floor below? Hello, new subscriber John. There has been so much misinformation. Do I want to see a cat?
No.
What?
Lucid Air.
A Lucid Air? No, I'm not talking about Lucid Airs. You like those, don't you? There's been so much misinformation about what has actually gone on. That's why I made the video this morning, because essentially no one can prove anything. Everything's burnt to the ground. How can they possibly prove it? All we know is the Tesla charging points were on the ground floor and the fire started on the 4th floor. If we didn't have that footage that the girl shot from Instagram of the Land Rover on... I've been taking so much vitamin C. If we didn't have that bit of footage of the Land Rover, we'd have nothing. We'd be none the wiser, and the fully charged people would be all over it. They'd be able to do everything with it. But oh, cool. Looks like we're gonna have a bit of a Hot Wheels special after we finish these eBay auctions. Thank you, darling. So yeah, get a quote in Bradford. Yeah, Bradford. That's not going to be a place where you're going to want to insure cars. Right, 7 minutes left on the Volvo. I will. All right, go on. You've got to leave me alone now. 7 minutes left on the Volvo, and neither the Mercedes nor the Fiesta have gone up. They really, really deserve to go up. Where did I get my hat from? I got my hat from Rhodes. It's a Rhodes hat, look. It was like €7, but I love it. It's dead comfortable. It's, it's just nice, and it looks like it's 1,000 years old, but it's not. It's relatively new. All right, thanks, dude. Right, I'll do that one first. This is my Hot Wheels Volvo 850 that we made, an actual replica of my actual car. Cheers, bud. We'll do some Hot Wheels in a minute, because I have been buying some Hot Wheels lately, and I keep saying I'm going to do a Hot Wheels video. And if you're still watching later on, then, we can go and see. So, let's get anything else on the fire stuff. Anyone got anything else? We've got 6 minutes left on the Volvo, and I'm going to talk about the cars that are for sale in a minute. But can I just say at this stage, we still don't know what caused this fire. The people on Facebook, the hat isn't as good as the famous Lost Hat by Geoff, my man. I know. I'll replace that, but I probably won't be able to replace it until the November Classic Car Show, when companies that sell hats like that will have stands, and then I'll go buy a couple. Geoff, I've got a few years until I can drive. I've got a BX Estate. Nice. Any tips for insurance other than trying to get classic insurance? I tried Cherished Vehicle Insurance Services. They're based down the road in Worcester. Their marketing manager's called Ian. He's a really good friend of mine. Although I think today he's been a bit quiet on WhatsApp because he's a Land Rover guy. But yeah, try them. Try Cherished Vehicle. And if you've got insurance questions like that, email them to me and I can always put them to Ian and he can sort of send some suggestions. Since when do stationary, non-running diesels catch fire? It wasn't stationary or non-running. If you look at the picture, when that Land Rover caught fire, it's not in a parking space. It's ahead of a parking space. So I think someone earlier in the comments said DPF filter, got hot on the way to the airport, starts driving slowly around the car park, DPF overheats. So it could be that. My Transit is developing paranoia from GB News. I drive HGV all over the country. Has anyone noticed the lack of dead insects on the windscreen this year? Barry White, back from the grave. Is Barry White dead? You got a great voice, Barry. I can tell from the comment. I've noticed, and oh, you're just in time. I have a little helper. We'll start the bidding at 99 pence. Yeah, there's no flies, and when there are flies, don't grab the table. When there are, I'm going to put this one back now. When there are flies, they're like strange little white ones. Have you noticed the strange little white flies that they looks like flying ash? Very, very odd. So yeah, kittens and boobies tonight. Right, thank you very much. Right, that's enough now. Kids haven't gone to bed yet. We just had parents' evening, and parents' evening went really well. Both of my kids had a really good parents' evening. Can you all give me a round of applause for the kids? Oh, it doesn't work on YouTube. I've got a question, mate. If you import a car from far away like Asia, is it not Euro 4 or 5 rated and then bypass ULEZ? That's a really good question. How much for the cute kitten? I think all the cute kittens are allocated. Sorry, but it would be funny, wouldn't it, if you had a kitten and then you could be like, oh, I had a kitten off of a guy on YouTube. I was going to say a famous person then, but that just sounds wrong. It's still just me making videos in my car. The Luton airport fire was pretty bad. Apparently fire crews were worried it might spread to the town centre and cause thousands of pounds of improvements. That's a good joke, and that joke came out very early on in the fire. You know, the flames had only just started licking and people were already hoping that most of Luton would be razed to the ground. Did anyone else get mobbed by ladybirds the other day? My cat's had a field day. You got symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning, Geoff? Carbon monoxide poisoning, really? We've just got a snotty nose. That's an interesting point, though. Email me about that, geoffbuyscars@gmail.com. Right, we're down to 3 minutes left on the Volvo, which is the first one up tonight. If you're watching along, it's at £3,200. Any advance on £3,200? Geoff, what do you prefer, American or English classic cars? I'm American. Sorry. I'm more fast and loud than wheeler dealers, and I've spent a long time. I have worked in the classic car industry in a number of different roles, and a lot of the British stuff doesn't really do a great deal for me. But at the same time, I don't really have any reference to the British classic cars because my dad growing up had Volvos. You know, the only British car that my dad had he had a Jag later on in his career, but that was like 2002, so I don't have any relation to like older British stuff. Right, 2 minutes left. This is going to be really annoying if I do this live feed and none of these cars go up. We got 2 minutes on the Volvo and it hasn't moved. We got 7 minutes on the Mercedes and it hasn't moved. 17 minutes on the Fiesta and that hasn't moved. I might have to text my brother and tell him to get a bid on the Fiesta because I don't really want to give it away for that. But I suppose it doesn't work that way. Right, refreshing now. We got 1 minute. There's 1 minute on the Smithy car. 1 minute left. 1 minute and 51 seconds, actually. £3,200, 48 bids. £3,200 for the Smithy car. That is a huge profit, actually. But I thought it was going to end up at about 1,600 quid. But obviously there's a couple of people that want it. Everyone is watching this, Geoff. Are you all watching it? I'm not logged in. I'm not selling them on my account. A friend of mine is doing it for me. And I looked at the viewing statistics on this Smithy car. I mean, come on, I've got a YouTube channel. I've got a Facebook page. The Facebook page has got almost 10,000 people on it now. And it's been all over the Gavin and Stacey groups. It's been all over the 1990s retro car groups. There's more than 10,000 people who have viewed the listing for the Smithy car. So basically, if there's a buyer out there that wants to pay big money for the Smithy car, we found him and he's now bidding. So, you know, it's easy for me to say I didn't expect it to make that much money, but I've put the work in to get it to that stage, you know. The photos of this car are fantastic. The listing is good. It's a cool car and it's been shared in all the right places. So I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one because I've done all right on this Smithy car, but it's cool. You know, it's a very cool car. I hope that it gets bought by someone in Barry Island. That would be amazing if someone in Barry Island actually bought it. Now, I didn't change the wheels, but I have now got, if the person who's bidding is watching, I've actually got the correct wheels for the Smithy car if they want them. We could swap, and then it would be an exact replica. The wheels that are anything that lets it down, I've got a set. Smart car 4.2, the way forward. I don't mind a smart car. 14 seconds left. It hasn't gone up. It's still at £3,200. 10 seconds. We're counting down. Is anybody getting a last minute bid in? What makes me shut up this fire? Why is there no fire suppression? I don't know. It's ended. The Smithy Volvo has ended. Refresh. Refresh. It looks like it has ended at £3,200. That is a decent payday for me if this sale goes through. Don't forget, this is eBay. James Corden, the highest bidder, is desperately trying to buy back some of his credibility. So 3,200 quid on the Volvo. But there's no time to hang around and talk Volvo, because the next one up in 4 minutes is the Mercedes. Now, this car is the other way round to the Smithy. The Smithy I've done really well on. This Mercedes deserves to be way more money than this, right? I wouldn't sell it for £2.5 grand. The Mercedes needs to be at the very least £3,000. It's a running and driving Mercedes-Benz SL R129 with an MOT and only 4 owners. If you're watching and you want the Mercedes, get a bid in, because genuinely, this is a really good buy. I don't know why it stalled out so much and only got to 2,450. Maybe it was my choice of photos. I don't know what's putting people off. The description's good enough. There's been a YouTube video where I take it for a drive. It's mostly cosmetics that it needs. 2,450 is pocket money on that car. 91 Honda Super 4. I don't even know what a Honda Super 4 is. What is a Honda Super 4? So we're at 3.5 minutes left, and it's at a measly 2,450 quid. I've got a piece of paper over here where I've written down the minimum amounts that I think these cars are going to sell for, and I've written my minimum amount for the Mercedes is 3 grand, and here it is at 2,450. So we're 550 quid below the price that was my bottom dollar for Facebook Marketplace. So someone's getting a bargain if they don't get a bid in the next 3 minutes. Seriously, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed if this goes for less than 2.5 grand. Hopefully this will be one of those ghost bidders where the dog placed a bid and I can actually put it for sale on Car and Classic and double my money, because it's got to be worth more than that. But then again, maybe there's a lot of these SLs around. Maybe there's just a lot of R129s and there's a lot of choice, and if you want one, maybe you go spend a bit more and buy a nicer one. So maybe that's why the price is so low. Poor prep, dirty interior, scabby arch did for the SL. I didn't do any prep. I took it for a Gold Valet. Does that count? The interior was as clean as a Gold Valet could make it. And that's it. Yeah, so you are right. Should have put the Merc on collecting cars. They charge too much money. They're not interested in cheap cars. All these like collecting cars and things, they're only interested if they can make a huge buck off you. So there's no point. And eBay, everyone uses eBay, don't they? So although it's not, there's the rub, good luck, fair enough. 2 minutes left and it hasn't moved. It's at 2,450 quid. I have a Betamax for sale. Hit me up, guys. Been following Owen Benjamin. That's about it. UK, I feel lost now. Join the Woodlanders Initiative. See what happens. Take care. Is it worth buying Woodland? Anyone know? Someone's put a bid in. For Gavin and Stacey's box set. That's fair enough. I bought a V70 last year. How can I fit 3 people, 2 Mastiffs, and my allotment tools in? No, so now you can. Yeah, you can with that. Nissan Navara are a heap of crock. I met someone the other day. Took it for a valet. That's your profit down the loo. Thank you very much. Spoken like a true car dealer there, Escalator Face. I looked at a car on Facebook Marketplace the other day, right? Scanning through the pictures, there's one shoe in the boot. And part of me was like, hang on a minute. How can you be so lazy that you can't even remove a shoe from the car before you sell it? And the other part of me was like, hang on a minute. If I find another car with the other shoe, we could be quids in here. I could have 2 cars and a pair of shoes. 3,200 quid for the game. If you put a bid in on this car, I'll include the Gavin and Stacey box set. There's no way this car's only worth 2,450 quid, but there's 1 minute left, and the internet says that it's a 2,450 quid car. Shocking. I really hope the Fiesta's doing better than this, because I'm going to give that away if it goes for 771 quid. 49 seconds left, and the Mercedes is not going up. I can't believe it. I thought this was going to be exciting, because there was going to be like last minute bids, but it's not happening. Come on, 30 seconds left. Someone put a bid in. Shouldn't have done the live feed. Is the live feed what's picking it up? This is wild. I'm giving this Mercedes away. Internet's gone. It's back. 20 seconds left and it's still at 2,450. Yeah, I should have insured it and then gone on holiday via Luton Airport. Agreed value. We're all out at 2,450. Oh, it's gone up. It's 2,500. We got an extra 50 quid in the last 3 seconds. Any more for any more? It's finished. We're all out. 8:10. We are all out at 2,500 quid. That is absolute bottom dollar on that car. Bottom dollar. Oh no, it's just gone down to... No, we're all right. Let me refresh. 2.5 grand. Someone got a bargain there. That's a cheap Mercedes SL. Find me another Mercedes-Benz SL with an MOT for that money. That was a cheap car. I know it was rusty, but that was a cheap car. Right, next up in a couple of minutes, 9 minutes left on my broadcast then, because we've got the children wanting to go to sleep. Come on, kids, you never ever want to go to sleep, so why would you moan about it tonight? £791. Who does my stickers? A chap called Russ in Malvern. Now, he's called Signs Central, and he's good. He's a good guy. He's awake. He texted me this morning and was like, this has got to be an EV. I was like, I'm just making my video, so that's why he got a mention. Laughing at the comments about the Luton fire with people saying how the media reporting it as a diesel Range Rover, but no mention of the mild hybrid version. I'm still on the fence because I've spent the day researching it. I know that there are problems with fires in non-hybrid versions of this Range Rover. And I think for me, what this means is, you know, yeah, you can make a big song and dance about the EV hybrid thing. How many different cars now, modern cars, new cars, have we got that have problems with catching fire one way or another? There's a lot. You've got all of the, and I'm not talking EVs, hybrids either. This is normal petrol and diesel cars. You got the Vauxhall stuff. Do you remember the Vivaros and the Zafiras? They'd go up in smoke. There's loads. You've got these Evokes. These Evokes are not good. Telling you a hybrid owner can afford to go to Gatwick. 2002 Boxster S with 20,000 miles on the clock and one previous owner. Garage, race cats and exhaust, 300 horsepower remap. Bose and sat nav and sports seats. Mitch, on a car like that, you probably need to contact Richard at Wizard Sports and Classics. I think he's wizardsportsandclassics.com, but that's the sort of thing, he does a few like that. So it's well worth contacting him and just getting an idea of cost, basically. Well, not cost, price. Very quiet about world events, though. I missed that one. I'm filling in a comment there that I don't have the context for. With 791 quid on the Fiesta. That's pretty painful. You know, it's a classic Ford. What's that doing at 700? That's worth twice that amount of money. So, well done. You've all come on the live feed to watch me do really well on one car and then lose all that profit on the other two. There's no way that car's 791 quid. It's got an MOT and everything. Mental. We've got 6 minutes left. Maybe it's going to go up in the last 6 minutes. We can hope, can't we? A guy in Bradford does all my tyres. I can definitely recommend Balancing. See what you did there. It works when you read it out really well. So what we got? A DPF gets hot on my Golf, but not enough to burn down a multi-storey car park. You're not trying hard enough, Richard. You're not trying hard enough. How deep are you in the Fiesta? Not very deep at all. I just thought I'd bought it really well. You don't make money. Richard Rawlings says you don't make money when you sell a car. You make money when you buy a car, and that is absolutely right. That's why I hate eBay. Come on, Stephen, you're a Ford guy. You know that I'm losing out on this Fiesta, don't you? We bid on the Fiesta and you flog elsewhere. Someone stick £1,000 on the Fiesta and I'll buy it off you for 1,050 quid. You can make 50 quid right here and now by bidding £1,000 on my Fiesta. If that isn't insider trading, I don't know what is. Come on, there's no way it's 791 quid. I don't want to let it go for that. Someone help me out. Buy my car for me. You don't have to keep it. I can't believe this. 5 minutes left, 791 quid. It was well photographed. It's the best colour. It's a 3-door. Find another one. This is shocking. I'm not putting cars on eBay again. First time live. Hello, David Hilton. How you doing? Do you think the Range Rover driver made his flight on time? The thing is, right, the Range Rover driver is out there because the Range Rover driver spoke to the radio. So the Range Rover driver has something to say. Now, either the Range Rover driver wants to say, I was driving along and we were just parking and we'd been ragging the crap out of the car because we were trying to get to the airport and it's my fault it caught fire because I was driving the car so fast. Or the Range Rover driver wants to say, to be honest, we were so high because we were so excited about getting on our plane, and my mate Dave in the passenger seat dropped his spliff and it caught fire on all of the unpaid parking tickets that were in the footwell, and that started to burn, and it was too late by that point, and we tried to put it out, but we only had 2 cans of Tennant Super, and the fire didn't go out, and then we bailed. And the reason that we stayed anonymous in the media is because we don't want people to know that we were really high and accidentally set fire to our own car. That's one scenario. The other scenario is that it's just a hybrid battery that's just gone poof and ejected itself all out the side of the car, because the location of the fire stacks up to where the hybrid battery is. 4 minutes left, 791 quid. None of you bidding on it, or is the person that's bidding on it actually winning? Darling, you got Jake's number?
Yeah.
Text him. Tell him stick £1,000 on it. He can buy it. Insider trading. Fiesta's gone up to 861. Has it? 891. Hang on, let me refresh my screen. Are we going up? Mine's still showing 791. Oh no, 911. Hey, it's at 911. That's a good number. I like that. 911, very good. Only a writer could come up with a story like that. Yeah, go on. The diesel heater is on that side of the car. The diesel heater. What spec is the Fiesta? It's a 1.25 16 valve manual. It's a beautiful little thing. Refreshing. Everyone's telling me to refresh. Where are we at? I'm still at 911. I've probably got to clear my cache. I don't know what that means. My wife knows what that means. Refreshing. I'm still at 911. Has anyone got £1,000 on there? Can a Land Rover run long enough to get the DPF up to temp? It's tricky. Very tricky. So, that is funny. We're still at 911 on the Fiesta. I guess that's all right. It's another couple of £100 on top. It's a lot less than I wanted it to go for. Range Rover had an e-bike in the back, which had a thermal runway. I would like to believe that, but you can clearly see the fire coming out from behind the front wheels. Struggling to understand why the Nissan Qashqai 2015 doesn't have a low oil indicator light. Any ideas? I haven't started mine yet. Yeah, modern cars, they don't give you any information. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like an old car, you've just got a fuel gauge and an oil gauge and all the stuff you need. Which chat member's going to win? Is anybody winning this car? Is anybody on there winning it? When World War III happens, China will just drop all of their fields of EVs on us. Yeah, they've got enough of them, haven't they? Right, 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. I'm tidying my desk. I'm not. I'm just cleaning up the wine that I've just spilt. Got a little glass of white with an ice cube in a camping cup. Because, you know, finer things in life. Sorry I was late. Could someone post a link to eBay, please? Just be quick. ebay.co.uk. Search Classic 99 Ford Fiesta. You'll see it. You've got 1 minute and 54 seconds. I was the highest bidder for 6 days at 771. I know, and it didn't move. It didn't move. I was like, oh, I can't believe it. So, yeah. I mean, I'm glad it's not going for 771, but 911 isn't that much better. It's got to at least break 4 figures, hasn't it? It's got to break 4 figures. Could be worse. Could have a Tesla. Doesn't even have a stalk to... It doesn't have a stalk to control the wipers. How do you do your wipers without a stalk? That makes no sense at all. Like, that's another one of those things, like, why would you change that? We've had stalks for wipers since virtually forever. There's no need to change that. My other one with that, before I go on a rant and forget the end of the auction, I'm still at 911 quid. Has anyone else got any more on that? Refresh your browsers. What you got? Shocking. What a shocking live feed. Geoff loses money live on YouTube. Thought I was on Facebook then, I'm not. Got a tidy little SL. You can have it for 2,750, Geoff. Send me the details, but apparently they don't sell. There's an app for wipers now. 43 seconds left and we're at £911. Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. We're down to 30 seconds. I cannot believe that this Fiesta is going to go for less than £1,000. Wild. 26 seconds. My sewing machine is faster than that Fiesta. No, it's not, because that's the 16 valve. It's the Yamaha developed engine. I put one of those on its roof at 90 mile an hour, and I was fine. I lived to tell the tale. I used to drive that car everywhere at 90 mile an hour. That's why I bought it. That's why my brother was like, why are you selling that? You'll never find another one. And that's why you should bid on it. 4 seconds left, and it's finishing, and it's finished, and it has finished at 911 quid. That was a bargain. Someone's bought well there. Yeah, not sure how I feel about that. Definitely wouldn't have... Like, if I'd put that on Facebook Marketplace for 1,500 quid, and someone had messaged and said, I'll give you £911 cash today, I'd have said, nah, you're all right. Can't sell it for that. Sell it to Chop's Garage. He buys old shite. Buy everything. That's if you want to. So, the next question now. Right, there we go. All done. All in and done. 3,200 on the Smithy Volvo, which is a fantastic result. 2.5 on the SL, which is £500 beneath my estimate. And then, what did I put on the Fiesta? 1,200 quid. So we're £300 off on the Fiesta. Overall, we're up, so long as the sale of the Smithy Volvo goes through and it isn't like a ghost bidder or something like that. So keep an eye on the social feeds and make sure, everybody who's subscribing, open a new window and go and subscribe to Cars Geoff Buys, my second channel. Not finished yet, because I just want to talk about a couple of these Hot Wheels that I've bought recently. Actually, one was bought for me by a really good friend. So I'll talk to you about those, because I haven't done that live on the channel yet. But there we go. That is, can't believe it. If you bought one of those cars, pop me an email over. Check in on my email to see if anyone's emailed me about any of the cars. Hopefully, they'll all go through okay, because that's 3 cars out of the way then, even if I do feel like I gave the Mercedes and the Fiesta away. But there we go. It was tempted by the Volvo 480 and traded for £4,000, but wouldn't last 6 months on Wakefield Council Road. I do believe you have made old Volvos worth more, Geoff. Peter, thank you very much for that comment. I think you might be right, because I'm finding it harder to buy Volvos, harder than ever before. So if I'm finding it hard to buy them, then it's my fault that the values have gone up. And I tell you what, I accidentally did this to Saabs as well. I used to buy a lot of Saab 9.5 Aero Turbo Hots. Used to be able to buy them cheap. Can't anymore. Prices have all gone up. And it's basically because I've made a lot of videos. Actually, was wearing this shirt. I've owned this shirt for years. Used to wear this shirt in my early videos. And yeah, I think it's my fault that I can't buy them anymore. Right, let's do some Hot Wheels stuff. Let's go firstly with this one. This is my Volvo that my friend bought me when we went to Chelsea Walsh Hill Climb. And that was really sweet of him. I basically got him in for free. And he bought me a Volvo to say thank you, which was really cool. So that's my Volvo. Sentimental value, because my mate bought it for me. So that one can stay in its bag. The other Volvo that we saw earlier on is this one here, which is a replica of my actual car, complete with surfboards. Quite like that. And then one that I was really, really proud of was this one, because I've been looking for this for ages. You should all know exactly what that car is. That is, of course, the Supra from the first Fast and Furious movie. Now, I really want to do a Volvo in this colour scheme, but I'm not quite brave enough. But if you think... See, this is the thing. So I bought this Volvo the other day, this 2-litre manual, and I'd love to do that to it. I'd love to paint it orange and do the same decals on it. But the problem is, the Volvo I've just bought, it's really, really clean. Like, the paint and everything on it is too clean for me to strip it and paint it orange. So, I mean, I know it's my car and I can do with it what I want, and it's huge mileage, but maybe it would just be ruining what is actually quite a good Volvo. So that's my Supra. And then obviously to go with the Supra, we've also got the Charger. You gotta, I mean, if you're not into Fast and Furious, then are you really a car guy? Everybody knows it's about the first movie, isn't it? What was that? Geoff, got a theory in Luton Airport. Gave Ukraine some bendy bus, so what did Russia do in return? Wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, says everybody. I think it would cost a lot of money. If anyone knows any wrapping companies that want to work with a YouTuber, get in touch, because I'm up for it, but I'm pretty sure it would cost thousands of pounds. Geoff, your internet connection's crap. Change your provider. Oh, I thought I was on the Wi-Fi. Sorry. Is it dropping out again? Should be all right. I think you're the only one complaining. Right. Last couple then. Bought these the other day, which are, I love a purple car. So we got 2 Chargers. Modern one, old one, same colour scheme. I got all the time in the world for that. That's very cool. And then lastly, 2 more things. I got this on eBay, right? It hadn't sold like loads of times. This is a genuine vintage 1998 surf scene. How cool is that? You got your Chevy Bel Air and your Woody, the surfboards on the roof, and then boobies and bikinis. Still on its original platform, look. I think I paid £8 for it. What bargain. Really pleased with that. You never find another one of those. So dead chuffed with that. And then on the more expensive side, I did buy, not gonna lie, I had quite a good July and I splashed out, right? I bought this. That is, and if you know your Hot Wheels, then you'll know what that is. That is a Hot Wheels Beach Bomb. In mint condition and in the box and in purple, this would be worth more than all the cars that I sold tonight. But I'm a cheapskate and I don't have that much money. So I didn't buy one that was in its box. In fact, I didn't even buy an original one because an original in that colour and that condition would be well into the hundreds. You'd probably be talking thousands. Thank you, bud. You probably would be talking, if that was mint and original, that's probably £1,000. £170,000 was the other one, wasn't it? The rear loader. This is the side loader. I'll do a proper video about this because it's quite interesting. But this is a restored one, so it wasn't originally purple. But it was £65. £65. But I've wanted one since basically forever. And yeah, I thought, you know what? I want one, so I'm going to have it. The world's about to fall apart, and at least I'll have my Hot Wheels. I probably should have bought weapons or food or fuel or, you know, shelter. But, yeah, I went for that. To be fair, you say they saw me coming, I put an offer in. £65, yeah, £65. But is it because it's genuine from the 60s? So if you do your research, when I come off this video, go and search for Hot Wheels Beach Bomb and read up on it, and you'll make yourself want one. It's just the way it works. Right, Geoff, can you get me a black Lotus Elise so I can have my own mini back car, please? What, a Hot Wheels one? I haven't got, I've got a yellow Elise somewhere. I have a Corgi. Careful, car can catch fire. These won't catch fire. Hoovy's Garage did the Supra paint and decals on a Prius a few years ago. I love it. It's just so iconic. All of them. And the other one that I really, really want to do, if you want to get really geeky and into Hot Wheels, which obviously I do, Lance's Nissan Maxima is blue. It's like a deep metallic blue, and it's got a similar sort of graphic, but it's a shark. It's a robot shark down the side, and it looks ace. £65 for a toy. I paid less for a whole car. Probably back in the day, £85 is the cheapest I've ever bought a car for. It was at auction. So you're getting there, aren't you? But price of everything's gone up these days. I won't be buying any more expensive Hot Wheels. That's the only one. Like I said, I used to be a big Volkswagen nut. It's a bay window camper van. Obviously, I'm a surfer nut. It's got surfboards on it, and it's purple, and I'm a purple car nut. So it's got like the 3 things that I love in one collectible. So that is like the single most... Hey, babe, this Hot Wheels was more than both of our wedding rings.
Was it?
That's kind of stupid, isn't it?
It was £65.
That's really stupid. So, yeah, there we go. So I bought a Hot Wheels for myself that was more expensive than our wedding rings. Ah, someone's just donated £9.99 to me. Thank you, I appreciate that. I absolutely promise that I'll spaff it on something stupid like an expensive Hot Wheels car. Promise. Absolutely promise. Cool. I think that's everything, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching me lose my arse on 2 cars and do really well on another. Couple of questions. Should we have some questions at the end? Questions. All right. Questions. Are old Land Rovers value get higher these days? Yes. Land Rovers do seem to keep going up. Mitch says, the Range Rover in Luton was doing a DPF regen when it all went wrong. I think you could well be right there. You could well be right. £50 for a Mark II Cavalier in 1999. Yeah, £50 for a Cavalier and £20,000 for a house. Sadly, we didn't buy the Cavalier or the house. Spend the £9. What, right now? Shall I spend the £9 live on eBay whilst you're here? I could probably do that. I'm not logged in. Hang on. Bear with me while I spend my £9. Do you want to hang around while I spend my £9? I can do that. See, the Hot Wheels Ferraris, right? Hot Wheels no longer do the licensing on Ferrari. So Hot Wheels Ferraris are quite rare. And one of the rarest is an F40. So we could go and get a Hot Wheels Ferrari F40. There's one here for £11.50, but the wheels aren't quite right on it. So we're not going to go for that one. I don't think I can do this live because I do like to get very, very geeky about it. So you might have to keep an eye on my fit. Oh, hang on. Got a yellow one. It's not in the box, though. You might have to keep an eye on my feeds later on, and I'll update you as to which one I buy. Don't buy an EV Hot Wheels. Has the Fiesta sold? I don't know. I'm not running the eBay listings. I've got someone else running it for me, which was it just suited me better that way. Howdy, Geoff. You're a hoot. Thanks, Gary. The car definitely did a regen of Luton. I've never had a car that does the C30. I like the Volvo C30. Yep. I do like the Volvo C30. Do EV Hot Wheels explode too? Bams, have you ever had one of your EV Hot Wheels explode? He says yes, but I think that's a lie. Geoff, when's the next live show? Loving the vibe. Oh, I don't know. Is this a thing now? Is this what we do? Do we do live shows? Am I a live entertainer now? Do we want to do this regularly? Do we want to make this like once a week? We could do this once a week if you want. I tell you what, that's a lie. The next live show is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm doing a joint with the Mapmaster, and I don't mean sitting in a Range Rover having a spliff and setting fire to it. What I mean is me and the Mapmaster are going to do a split screen live broadcast, and possibly Tony from EV Carnage is going to be there as well. So that's 1 o'clock tomorrow. That's going to be quite fun. There's still 430 people watching. I mean, it peaked at like almost 600. This is wild. If you plug an EV Hot Wheels into a socket, it'll get very hot. It will. Yeah, so tomorrow, it's me, myself, Lee the Mapmaster and Geoff have a joint. To be honest, me having a joint on a live broadcast would be a disaster because I lose the ability to speak because I go so deep into my thoughts that it takes me like 3 hours to process. And then when I eventually come out of it, I can't explain where I've been. So I don't do it much anymore. Well, I don't do it at all. Once a week or twice a fortnight. Simon, that's my sort of catchphrase. Like I'm on the verge of launching the internet's least good value, most expensive, lowest quality car raffle company. That's what I'm going for. I've got to work on the catchphrase, but it's something like that. If the Mrs. Geoff buys cars, does a live, guaranteed you'll get 3 million subs. Do you hear that one, darling? I don't think she's interested in launching an OnlyFans. Don't get locked in. Oh yeah. Geoff and Lee hotbox the Tesla. No, it's not a Tesla, it's a Taycan. No problem, Joe Boy. Look at the low miles one, the 180 less turbo laggy than the 225. 225 is twin X exhaust. Love a TT. I was offered a TT just the other day, but I actually declined it. Do Land's End to John O'Groats at 20 mile an hour. Let us know how it goes. No thanks. But I am doing John O'Groats to Land's End with the Mapmaster in my Volvo. Fancy an old Volvo 240 GL. Lived under a tree. I don't want any projects at the moment. I've got too many projects. If it runs and drives and it's cheap, send me some details. But I can't buy any more project cars. The Renault's dragged on long enough as well because I just take on too much. And my wife's listening; she'll know this. So I'll get a car in, and I'll think, I'll get this done in like 6 days. But then it'll just never happen because I get distracted or I go and buy other cars. Like look at this right now. I'm doing a live broadcast to 413 people, and I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to spend my 10 quid. I'm going to buy something cool, and it's going to be vintage. So. Oh, hang on, though. I do want that. No, getting distracted again. Right, I'll buy something in a bit. Or maybe I could buy a hat. So, anybody got any more? How do Mormons go about renting somewhere to repair their cars? How do you rent somewhere to repair your cars? Find a generous farmer, basically, and ask around. That's all I can advise. The unit that Lyndon's got is really handy, and it's because you can fit 4 cars in there at a push. And it's cheap, but it's only cheap because he's had a relationship with the farmer for like forever. So, yeah. And I've been asking around to get some storage near to where I live, and it's just not happening because I need to find somewhere for the Renault. Could be some good deals on lightly damaged ULEZ vans. I like that. That's funny. How much are original plastic straws going for on eBay these days? You can't find an original plastic straw. Every single one of them's up a turtle's nose. Come on, you know that. I know that. We've all seen the adverts. That's where they are. They use them for their cocaine habits that they find washed up on the shores of, South and Central America. I once spent a bit of time in Panama, and we were rocking around on a boat, and the one day we saw something floating in the water, and we didn't know what it was, but it was all wrapped in black plastic, and we had 100% convinced ourselves that we had just stumbled upon the mother lode of coke, and were really, really disappointed when we got back. And actually, it was like a homemade mattress that someone had made for a swinging chair. It was just like all polystyrene and wood wrapped in black plastic, and we found it floating in the sea. We were gutted, so we turned it into a swing instead. But it gave us a funny story. So there you go. Oven fries EV cooked. Yes, when they got a slight seasoning of cobalt on them as well. Thank you very much, everybody. I think I'm done. I can't believe you're all still watching me standing at my standing desk. The link for the standing desk is going to be in the comments shortly. I will work out something that I buy in a minute with my £9. I don't know where that £9.99 goes. Can I should have like a printer attached to my phone. I could just like print out a tenner now, but I know it doesn't work that way. But thank you very much for sending me £9.99. The kids are now off to brush their teeth. They should have gone to bed. Oh no, they're all right. It's only 8:30. We're sweet. We're only here for the desk, says Andrew Robinson. The desk is fantastic. If you want a stand-up desk that moves electrically, I can't recommend it enough. It is brilliant. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I really do. YouTube take 30%. So I've only got £7 to spend. The bastards. And on that catastrophic financial failure, I think that's time to leave the show. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I'll keep you posted on the sales of the Fiesta and the Mercedes and the Volvo. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel, which is called Cars Geoff Buys. Different logo. It's like a teal and red. And thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Missed the first 60 minutes. You can go back and watch it again. Been a very enjoyable interlude. Thank you. Oh, cheers, everyone. Been fun, hasn't it? Yeah, it's an electric desk, but it's powered. You plug it in. It doesn't have a battery. I'll put the links in the comments. Thank you, everybody. Good night.